In the heart of southern Africa, long before it was given its colonial name, the people who lived here had a far more fitting description for this natural wonder. They called it Mosi Oatunya, which translates with beautiful simplicity to the smoke that thunders. It's a name born not from imagination, but from direct sensory experience. From many kilometers away, you can see a colossal column of mist rising into the sky, resembling the smoke from a vast bushfire. As you draw closer, a low, continuous rumble begins to permeate the air. It's a sound that you feel as much as you hear, a deep vibration that travels through the ground and into your very bones, announcing the immense power that lies ahead. This is the Zambezi River, a mighty artery of water that has flowed across the continent for millennia. For much of its journey, it is a wide, placid river, gliding calmly across a vast, flat plateau of basalt rock. But here, at this specific point on its course, the earth itself seems to have cracked open. This is not merely a waterfall, it is a raw, untamed display of planetary force. To witness Victoria Falls is to be enveloped by its beauty. It is a multi-sensory experience that overwhelms and captivates. The view from the Zimbabwean side offers a frontal perspective of the main falls, a seemingly endless curtain of white water stretching from one side of your vision to the other. During the high water season, the individual cataracts merge into one continuous sheet, a breathtaking wall of movement. The sheer volume of water creates a visual paradox. It is both chaotic and graceful, a violent plunge that appears almost slow and deliberate from a distance. The sunlight catches the spray, creating a dazzling display of rainbows that dance in the mist, often forming complete, perfect circles. The sound is a constant companion, a deep and resonant roar that fills the air. It is the sound of 1,000,000 tons of water in free fall, crashing into the gorge below. It rises hundreds of meters into the air, creating a microclimate that supports a lush, verdant rainforest on the cliff edge. Walking through this rainforest, you are immediately drenched by the fine, cool spray. The air is thick with the clean, earthy smell of wet soil and vegetation. Droplets cling to every leaf and branch, glittering like diamonds in the filtered sunlight, showcasing nature at its most dramatic. When people think of great waterfalls, North America's Niagara Falls often comes to mind. It is, without question, a magnificent and powerful sight, a true natural wonder. Niagara is famed for the sheer volume of water that flows over its crest, making it one of the most powerful waterfalls in North America by flow rate. However, placed side by side with Victoria Falls, a different sense of scale emerges. Victoria Falls is, by several key measures, the largest waterfall in the world. But on the combined dimensions that create the world's largest single continuous sheet of falling water, Victoria Falls stretches for an astonishing 1,708 meters across, nearly twice as wide as the combined sections of Niagara Falls. It also has an average height of around 108 meters. Its deepest point plunges much further than Niagara's 51-meter drop. During peak season, the curtain of water is an unbroken spectacle. The Zambezi's untamed seasonal peak creates a different magnitude of spectacle, a mile-wide river disappearing into a crack in the earth. The visual impact is nearly indescribable. Ultimately, comparing them isn't about diminishing one to elevate the other, but Victoria reigns supreme as the undisputed king of scale. The story of Victoria Falls is written in stone, a dramatic tale of geology and erosion that has unfolded over hundreds of thousands of years. The landscape here is dominated by a vast sheet of hard basalt rock laid down by volcanic activity some 180 million years ago. As this molten rock cooled, it cracked, creating a network of deep fissures filled with softer, more easily erodible sandstone. The Zambezi River, in its long journey to the sea, eventually found its way across this basalt plateau. For a very long time, it flowed peacefully, its course unhindered. But water is a patient and persistent force, and it began to seek out the weaknesses in the rock beneath. The formation of the falls began when the river found one of these large east-west fissures of soft sandstone. The powerful current began to scour away the softer rock, carving it out more and more rapidly. Eventually, it wore away the entire filling of the fissure, creating a deep, narrow chasm that ran perpendicular to the river's flow. It was at this moment that the first waterfall was born, as the entire Zambezi River began to plunge into the chasm it had created. The series of dramatic zigzagging gorges downstream from the current falls are the fossilized remnants of previous waterfalls. Local legends beautifully intertwine with this geological reality. The science and the stories both tell of a living, changing landscape. For all its apparent might and permanence, Victoria Falls is a surprisingly fragile ecosystem. Its entire existence depends on one critical factor: the flow of the Zambezi River. In the dry season of 2019, parts of the falls were reduced to a trickle. The fall's spray creates a microclimate that sustains a lush rainforest. That small, biodiverse ecosystem supports unique plants and many animals. Without the spray, it would wither and be replaced by surrounding dry savanna. Tourism, a vital economic lifeline for Zimbabwe and Zambia, would be devastated. Upstream, pressure on Zambezi water resources is growing: agriculture, industry, hydroelectric power. Together, these can divert water before it reaches the falls. Development is necessary, but it must be sustainable and value the river's natural flow. The Zambezi is a shared resource requiring international cooperation and smart water policy. Protecting Victoria Falls means taking meaningful action on climate change. We must not let this wonder fade into silence. If you learned something new, hit like and subscribe.